Then we're gonna get a proper acceleration here, and then you guys can also hear the intake noise, so wait for it. And now let's go. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the 5 things that I love about my new 2020 Ford Raptor. I was going to make the video about the 5 things that I hate today as well, but feeling a little bit under the weather, so I'm just going to at least get this video out, and then the 5 things that I hate about my Ford Raptor, I will get that out probably next week, or obviously next weekend, just depends on what's happening. But with all that being said, this is my 2020 Ford Raptor that I just bought a few weeks ago. I finally have just over 500 miles on it. I think it's almost 600 miles, so I feel like I've driven it just enough to get a couple things on it, you know, obviously the things that I love and then the things that I hate. So with all that being said, let's just get into the video. The number one thing that I love about my Ford Raptor is the exterior styling on the truck and just exterior elements in general. So all the things that I love on it is I love the wraparound LED accent lights on the truck. So if I actually unlock it, you can see what I'm talking about. So how those lights wrap around, I think that's a really good clean look on the Raptor. And if I come around to the front of the truck, you guys can see what I'm talking about. Just a really nice look to it. On the front end, I love the marker lights as well, the middle ones and the ones on the outside. Everyone in Utah, by the way, adds these middle ones if they don't have it. Like, I legitimately saw a Lexus the other day and a Subaru that had like the 3 marker lights in the middle, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, whatever. Anyways, the other thing that I love stylistically is the Ford logo. I actually just like how big the letters are. The thing I didn't like about my Rebel is that they did the logo very, very small, whereas Ford has done it and just made it absolutely massive on the Raptor. And then obviously the tow hooks down below. I think it's a nice little accent. I wish that they were colored, but I do like how those look. And then the bumper. A lot of people say they don't like the fact that there's just a hole in the bumper there, but I love it because then you can actually see, like, right from here, you can see the suspension through the bumper, and then obviously a little bit of the tire, which is a really cool look. And the tires are actually another stylistic element that I really like. So I love the fact that it comes with 35s from the factory. These optional beadlock rims, definitely worth the extra money because they look so much better than the stock rims on the Raptor. The fenders, I like the look of that. What's really cool is the vents. So these little vents here, and then on the hood as well, I think they have a really nice aggressive look to them. I mean, just seeing them here on the side, for example, with the vents on the side, really, really nice look. Obviously, I love the wide body look on the Raptor as well. So, you know, seeing that from the side right there, I think the best angle on the wide body is when you see it like from the full side and then also from the rear when you're like looking back on it. I'll kind of show that to you guys in a second, but that's a really cool look. And with that being said, let's actually head to the back. So I actually pulled the truck down so you guys can see what I'm talking about from the side, just how you can see the wide body. It's such a cool look, especially the gap in the suspension there. But if we head to the back, another stylistic element that I love is the taillights, just how those wrap up. The thing I didn't like about my Ram is how the taillights came down. I like it when the taillights go up on the truck. I think it just looks a little bit sleeker, a little bit better. And then this rear look, not super in love with it. I love, again, the Ford logo, but it's really hard to tell that this is a wide body truck from the back here. You kind of have to look at the side a little bit, and then that's a cool angle, especially you can see from the front right there. I can see just how wide the truck is. Definitely a really cool look stylistically. Love the dual outlet exhaust. I love how big the tips are. Just like how those look, and they've made it fit very well stylistically, and they look similar to a lot of aftermarket exhausts. And by the way, if you are watching this video and, you know, preferably, you know, you work for Borla or, you know, the other one is Corsa, you guys should send me an exhaust so I can put on my Raptor so I can make it sound a lot better. But anyways, I like that look, and then I like the fact that there's the tow hooks right next to it. It's a really cool stylistic look. And so yeah, overall I love the exterior styling on the Raptor, and that's, you know, a huge thing for me is just how cool this looks on the outside. The number 2 thing that I really like in the Raptor is the interior element. So let's actually head inside so I can show this to all of you. One of the things that I really like on the interior is actually the door handles here. So just like how those feel, the actuation on those is pretty cool. I love the carbon fiber on the Raptor. And then also the padding here is okay, but the blue stitching, that's a really cool part. You guys know that I love the Recaro seats that come with the Raptor from the factory. They have a really nice look to them. The bolsters are amazing. I love the fact that it says Raptor at the top, and then just how the suede inserts, just everything on the seats looks and feels really nice. And then the other thing that I really like on the interior, which obviously we gotta shut the door, is the steering wheel. So this little material right here kind of sparkles. You can see right there just a little bit how it sparkles. It's like magnetic, the same color as that's on the outside. Love the paddles on the back of the steering wheel. I love the steering wheel in general, like the whole look of the steering wheel. It's a really nice look with the little race marking at the top of it, and then just how grippy it is in general. And then, like I said, stitching all throughout the interior. I really like just how the stitching is in the interior. Yes, there are things on this interior that I don't like, but that'll be in the next video. Oh, and the carbon fiber shifter, really cool look. And then also this little tray right here is also carbon fiber, so that's a really cool look on top of that. So I just like the overall fact with, you know, the interior materials and how they, you know, some of the materials that are in this, I should say, you know, look overall in the Raptor. And also panoramic sunroof, always a huge plus in a truck for me personally. So the number 3 thing that I like about the Raptor is actually the exhaust and the intake noise. Now yes, an aftermarket exhaust would make this truck sound significantly better, but we can at least listen to the stock exhaust, and of course I'll get you some clips revving. So to start it up, you just gotta press the lock button, press the remote start twice. I still think though, like, yes, it's not a V8. I understand that it's not a V8, but I still feel like it has a really nice tone to it. And let's roll in some clips of me just revving it, of course. Now, obviously, you've heard the exhaust. The other thing I really like is the intake sound. Now, I'm just going to give you guys a couple interior clips of me revving the truck. I'm going to get a little bit more into the intake sound when I do the next thing that I really like about the truck. But yeah, so let's just go in so you guys can kind of at least hear what it sounds like on the interior a little bit. So start it up, obviously. And I mean, I feel like the sound, not only out of the exhaust, but just the interior sounds really good. So I think it sounds okay, but it's better obviously when you actually have it under strain, so when you are accelerating, not just revving it. So yeah, now we'll get to the next thing that'll kind of be into that a little bit. The 4th thing that I've loved about the Raptor so far is the performance. And with that all being said, I'm going to strap on the GoPro so I can give you guys some POV, and then I'll obviously talk about the performance while I am driving the truck. But let's just get right into that. Okay, so obviously before we set off, we've got to make sure that we're in the right mode. So the thing that I've really liked is the sport steering, you know, from the performance standpoint. And then in terms of drive mode, so I haven't been able to try out the Baja mode, sadly, but the sport mode is actually pretty fun. The only thing I will note is you have to shift manually in sport mode because it just holds the RPMs up really high, which is nice to some extent, but sometimes you just want to accelerate really fast, and then you obviously want to go into a higher gear. And in the sport mode, when you're in automatic mode, it just keeps the revs really high. It keeps you in really low gear, whereas in manual mode, you can obviously go up to a higher gear and lower the RPMs, but let's set off so I can start talking about the performance. First off, here in the sport mode, you can see that when I actually press the paddles, it responds really well on upshifts, which I've really liked because it gives it kind of like this sports car characteristic. I mean, you guys can see just how quickly. Now I can do a couple downshifts, and I feel like it responds really well with the downshifts on top of that with the upshift. So it's really solid in terms of the gearing. Now you can see I'm going up a hill. I'm in 6th gear and I can still accelerate pretty well. It's got a decent amount of torque on the low end, all that kind of stuff where it just wants to keep going, and I really like that. It's just super solid on that aspect. And now we're going to get up a little bit further so I can get a proper acceleration. Yeah, I mean, you can see it accelerates so quickly in those upshifts. When you're in manual mode and you press it, it just happens so quickly as well. Something that I do want to note also on the performance side is the handling. So the steering, when you have it in the sport mode, it makes the steering pretty heavy, but the steering on the truck's actually really direct and it handles really well. So I mean, I can take this around corners pretty quickly, you know, a lot quicker than I was able to do with my Rebel. I just feel a lot more comfortable. And you know, part of that is this has much wider tires, 315s versus 275mm on the Rebels. And then also this has a little bit wider body than the Rebel, so the wider track kind of helps with the handling, and then also the suspension. But yeah, just the handling on it, it's really fun because, you know, I take this around corners and I almost feel like I'm driving a sports car when I take it around. You can see the downshifts here. A little bit violent, but they happen pretty nicely. We're gonna get a proper acceleration here, and then you guys can also hear the intake noise, so wait for it. And now let's go. Well, I mean, I would have gotten like a better acceleration, but there's this really slow Toyota in front of me, and so you know, you gotta do with what you're given. And yeah, when you accelerate, the intake noise on it, I feel like it sounds pretty good. Like, you get a little bit from the exhaust, and you also get some stuff from the intake, a little bit of turbo noise, and sounds really good. However, this truck does need a blow off or something like that, so I can hear a little bit more turbo. And then yes, it does need an exhaust. And so, like I said, if someone wants to hook me up with an exhaust so my Raptor can sound better, I won't complain, okay? Let's get one more acceleration. I think I kind of bounced off the rev limiter there because I lost a little bit of power for a second. But yeah, I mean, I'm so satisfied with the acceleration. Yes, of course, it could always be quicker. But I mean, the acceleration from the factory, it's really solid and it's a lot of fun. So just overall, the performance on road with the Raptor is amazing. I'm excited to see what it does off-road when I get a chance to actually, you know, play with it on the off-road, especially like Baja stuff and all that. Now, the fifth thing that I love about the Raptor has to do with the remote start and the app that comes with the truck. So first off, I want to show you guys the app really quickly, and then we'll get into the remote start. So just to briefly show you the app, you can do the remote start, lock and unlock all from the app, and then it also shows you stuff like, you know, how much fuel you have till empty, oil, all that kind of stuff. I don't want to go into the vehicle details though, because it shows my address, because it shows the last place that the truck was parked. But anyways, it's a cool little app. Now the thing about remote start, that's more important. So with remote start on my Rebel, I had a bunch of issues with me pressing remote start and it wouldn't happen. And a lot of you that own any Ram products can attest to this, or any FCA products really. You press remote start and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. However, on the Raptor, it literally works every single time that I've done it. So I mean, like, I can remote start it right here. I can just press lock and it'll remote start it, okay? Now I don't have my RAM, so I can't, obviously, because I traded in, but I can't show it to you. Sometimes I would be like, just like right down here, and I press the remote start, I'd be like pressing it over and over and over again, and it wouldn't happen. But like, just to like really show my point in the video, I'm gonna walk like down over there so I can show you guys just how crazy this is. So I did this to show you guys the remote start, and someone ran over the sign. It just snowed, and yeah, poor sign. But we've got the key fob right here, and you can see I can press it, wait for it. I hear it start up. You guys can see right there the little amber light, it started up. And even, okay, I can shut it off again. Okay, and I can walk like even further. I'll go all the way down here. Okay, so I can't even see the truck now. I'm gonna press it, press the remote start twice. Okay, and I bet the truck started up, so I'm gonna walk down over here, okay? And I'll keep filming so you guys can see I'm not doing any funny stuff on you or anything like that, not pulling any funny business. And if we walk down, you can see the truck still started up. I mean, I feel like I can remote start it from any distance and it works every single time, no matter what. That is gonna sum things up for today's video on the 5 things that I love about my Ford Raptor, and I trudged through the snow in my signature flip-flops for you guys, so appreciate the hard work, because like I had to walk through that a bunch, and yeah, so appreciate the hard work. But anyways, if you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe, comment down below what you think, and then let me know what content you guys want to see coming forward. Yes, I'm going to do some more build stuff with the Raptor. The next thing that's coming is wrapping the bottom of the skid plate, and then after that we're going to add the over laminate on top of the wrap to change how this orange actually looks on the Raptor. And then I want to get into some stuff like exhaust, tuning, all that kind of stuff. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys want to see. I will see all of you in that next video.